Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, I'm Janetta, an author who loves to draw. On my channel, I focus on combining storytelling with art. If that's something you're interested in, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's get to it. SSMD, So It Begins, Chapter 23, The Big Splash. Dear SSMD Advisor, I'm a 38-year-old woman who thought she had finally met the man of her dreams. He proposed to me after 18 months. Of course I said yes. 3 weeks before our wedding, his ex-girlfriend approached me and announced she was 3 months pregnant with his child. I laughed, thinking it was her last-ditch effort to get him back. I was so sure of it until I told him what she said. He just said, "It's not my child." Those 4 words should have been assuring, but for some reason it sent up a red flag. I then asked him, "Is it possible that it's yours?" He just repeated, "It's not my child." We are now 2 weeks away from the wedding, and we are 6 months away from the baby's arrival. Should I trust his answer or wait for the paternity test? Sincerely, wavering trust. Eva. After my experience with Mike, of course, this post would stand out to me. I would answer it, but I had to fight down my own broken and bitter spirit. I couldn't inject what I've been through into her situation. I have been on automatic pilot since Mike told me that Rachel was pregnant almost 6 weeks ago. I kept busy and hadn't told anyone about my new man-made misery. I went about my day to day as if nothing had happened. Sharon was home and I was her sounding board as she and Philip worked through their strained relationship. Leah was head over heels in her relationship with Mario. Except for a call here and there to gush about how wonderful Mario was, I hadn't heard from her, let alone seen her. She had forgotten all about her request for me to act as her life coach and was happily spending her time falling deeper in love. It was amazing to me that she went from thinking she was in love with Philip to knowing she was in love with Mario. I would have to wait to answer Wavering Trust post. I had promised my sister Kendra that I would meet her for lunch today. She called me this morning and announced she'd taken the day off and wanted to get together. I suspect she was going to grill me because she sensed something was going on with me. We agreed to meet at one of her favorite cafes in my neighborhood. Kendra had offered to pick me up, but I wanted to walk. It had rained heavily earlier that morning, but by the time I stepped outside, the sun had come out and the day was beautifully clear. Walking the path through the park, I avoided the puddles that hadn't yet evaporated under the sun. I made it all the way through the path and out the other side of the park and was at the curb waiting to cross the street. Kendra stood in front of the cafe waiting. She spotted me and waved. Suddenly, a silver Benz passed by me and a wave of cold, muddy water splashed me from head to toe. I let out a surprised squeal. I looked across the street at Kendra. Her hand was over her mouth, and there was a glimmer in her eyes. She couldn't hold it in a moment longer. She doubled over and started laughing. The Benz pulled over, and the driver got out and walked back to me. "I am so sorry, miss. Are you okay?" "Do I look okay?" I was standing there covered in muddy water, and my sister was now snapping pictures on her camera phone and probably posted them on her social page. "Well, actually, you do look okay. Wet and muddy, but none the worse for wear," he said, looking me over. Kendra crossed the street, still snickering. "Eva, you sure know how to make an entrance," she teased. "Let's see how funny you find it when you have to give your wet, muddy sister a ride home in your new car." Normally, I could laugh these things off, but these days I didn't have a funny bone. Is she always this crabby? I mean, I'm trying to apologize, but I can't get past her bad attitude. I looked at Mr. GQ, all clean cut in his business suit, and did the unthinkable. I stumped my right foot in the puddle of water next to him and splashed his shoes and the bottom of his pants. How's that for crabby? "Eva!" Kendra was horrified. She had never seen me act this way before. The man's eyebrows knitted together. I should have rolled back and splashed your crazy ass again instead of getting out and trying to apologize. He turned on his heels, walked back to his car, got in, and drove off. What the hell is wrong with you, Eva? Have you lost your mind? Kendra stood there looking at me. I'm fine. Please give me your car keys and I'll wait in your car while you go order our lunch to go. We can eat at my place. I was ashamed of my behavior. Later, once I showered and eaten, Kendra demanded the truth. What's going on, Eva? You have been keeping to yourself and apparently losing your mind after what I saw today. So what is going on with you? Nothing, Kendra. I just have a lot on my mind. So you don't want to tell me that Mike is getting married and that Rachel is pregnant? You don't want to tell me that you have been affected by that? Who told you? I asked, shocked that she knew. It doesn't matter who told me. What matters is that you should have told me, or at least someone. You can't keep everything inside and hope it all work out, or you'll find yourself splashing strangers with muddy water. You owe him an apology, by the way. Okay, next time I see him, I'll apologize. I promise, knowing I never see him again. Did you even notice him? Kendra asked. Notice him? Why would I need to notice him? Kendra shook her head. Okay, did you notice what he was driving? A silver Benz, why? She smiled mischievously, and I knew something was up. She stood and said, Nothing. Look, I have to go. I still have errands to run. Just remember you said you would apologize next time you see him. Her mischievous smile widened. Chapter 24, Changing Tides. Dear Wavering Trust, you are at what I like to call a look-back point. Depending on your decisions and choices, you will either look back at this point later in life with regret or with thankfulness. The fact you have a red flag waving is a sign that more has to be said and done before you walk down the aisle. I would suggest you go back to the man of your dreams and explain to him that you are having doubts and why. If he truly loves you, he should be willing to sit down and talk things through. If he becomes angry and defensive, then you have a decision to make. He may confess to the possibility that the child is his, so prepare yourself beforehand with questions. Emotions may make you forget to ask questions. Questions like, was it a one-time slip-up, or was it a continuous, intimate relationship? You may ask yourself, what difference does knowing that make? But trust me when I say, you will want to know later. I hope things work out. Sincerely, the SSMD advisor. Eva. I signed off and shut my laptop. I knew after my crazy behavior during lunch, I needed to stop trying to pretend I wasn't walking around with a broken heart. I left the office and went to lie down in my bedroom. It was early afternoon, but I felt tired and worn down. It takes a lot of energy to keep up a facade that you're okay when you're not. I laid there staring at the ceiling for over 30 minutes. My mind kept replaying Mike saying he wasn't choosing me. The circumstances no longer mattered, even if Rachel turned out not to be pregnant. The bottom line was he did not choose to be with me. The pain of heartbreak almost consumed me. I wanted to scream, cry, and curse all at the same time. It was overwhelming. I rushed out of bed and put on my gym shoes. I was going for a long walk. I made it as far as the house next door when I wished I stayed in the house. I was about to walk by the house that was for sale when the car in the driveway caught my eye. No, it couldn't be the same car, I thought, staring at the silver Benz. I thought about Kendra's mischievous smile earlier, and my heart sank. I quickly turned back towards my house and was about to leave. Don't tell me you're going to leave without even a hi, neighbor, or an apology for your behavior earlier today. The man I thought I'd never see again stepped out of the front door and was now walking towards me. You bought this house? I said, just realizing the for sale sign was gone. I closed today. Wait, your sister didn't tell you? She came out earlier when she saw me. No, she didn't say anything, I said, while thinking, that little heifer. I'm going to kill her. Sharon. Philip helped Sharon into the car. They just left the doctor's office where Sharon's arm cast was removed and a smaller cast was placed on her leg. She would have it removed in 2 weeks. They drove home in a strange silence. Sharon was getting tired of him walking around like he was the one who had been wrong. Look, Philip, this is getting old fast. I don't want to keep living like this. Now, we agreed to try to work this out, but you have been treating me like the one who stepped out on this marriage. Now, we either need to see a marriage counselor or a divorce attorney. So, which one do you suggest? He parked the car in the driveway and shut off the ignition. To be honest, I'm leaning towards the attorney. He got out and slammed the door shut. Leah. Leah was cooking dinner and preparing for Mario's arrival. If it were up to her, she would be his dessert. But he had burst her bubble about that the first time things had gotten hot and heavy between them. It was their second date, and Leah had cooked dinner for him, just like she was doing tonight. They were sitting on her couch when he leaned in and kissed her. She misread the play and deepened the kiss and tried to remove his shirt. He grabbed her hands. Whoa, slow down, Leah. He kissed both her hands before placing them in her lap. Is something wrong? Don't you think we waited long enough? Leah asked. Leah, I want you, but I can't sleep with you. I mean, I can, but I won't. Wait, that sounds worse. Look, after my divorce, I decided to be celibate for at least 6 months. I wanted nothing to stand in my way of me focusing on my relationship with God and being led into a more purposeful existence. Leah stopped listening after celibate for 6 months. She sat there with her mouth slightly ajar. Now, through no commitment of her own, she was now 6 weeks celibate and ready to climb the walls. When Mario arrived, he was bursting with excitement. I have great news for you. What? You know those cupcakes I asked you to make? I took them to Alana's cafe, and she wants to partner with you. She was looking to add fresh baked goods, and she loved your cupcakes. What do you mean, partner? She's looking for a business partner. You two would be great together. Leah liked Mario's sister, but to go into business with her? Even worse, she didn't have the funds. Mario, I would love to, but I can't afford it. You can't afford not to. This is your dream and a perfect route to it. Hope you enjoyed today's story. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be and stay blessed.